Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine Live. I'm Catherine, and I have the first sketch from the June 2024 Creative Memories virtual crop ready to share with all of you. I am going to be working with our Passport to Adventure collection, and here we go. I'm gonna hope this works. Not my usual setup, but we're going to give it a go anyways. And here is the sketch from this month. It does look a little bit different. We had all of our stuff packed up already, and you all know we're moving across the country, so we'll be back to normal again here soon, just not for this month. Sketch number one, I have a 9-inch square I cut from some of our designer paper, as well as two 4-inch by 5.5-inch mats, which is a little bit of a different size for me, and one 2 3/4 by 6-inch. And this was using up a scrap, but we're going to use it as our mat. And I'm starting to show you all a little bit more of how I like to have my photos on pages, and using these scraps is just such an easy way to do it. I've pulled out my zero centering ruler. I am going to line it up. If you haven't ever used our zero centering ruler, it has lines that runs both vertically and horizontally through it. So I have a 9-inch square here from our designer paper. The other side of this one has the tags on it. I probably should have shown you which papers I'm using first, but you know what? Hey, I got too excited to be live again. What can I say? I'm going to put just a little bit of tape in the corners here to hold my place and get that one end down, because I'm 1.5 inches down from the top and bottom. I'm centered on the page, and then I'm 1.5 inches in. And that is one of the really nice things about our zero centering ruler is there's a 1/2 inch marked, and then there's a 1 inch marked through. So actually I'm 1 1/4, aren't I? I'm a little bit over. I went on the other side has the 1/2 inch, and this one is a 1 1/4. It looks like. Hang on. Nope, that's 1.5. There's a 1/4 inch there. There's a 1/2. Whew. Okay, crisis averted there. 1.5 inches top, bottom, and left edge here. Lined it up with our zero centering rulers. So I am going to, lose all of my other papers here apparently. Like I said, not my usual workspace, so just adjusting a little bit here to where I'm at, and just glad I can still be with you all. So the back side of our base page is this one that has the tiles on it, the travel tiles, if you will. We are using the kind of hexagon-y tan paper as our base. I think I turned it, and that actually does not look centered, does it? Well, you know what? We're just gonna wing it then. Let me grab my multi-purpose tool. That's unusual for the zero center ruler. I must have not calculated that right before I went live. So let me just go ahead and run my multi-purpose tool underneath and lift it up. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and try it again. Let's see, because it was 3 inches basically. Okay, so we probably do need more of a 2-inch border then, don't we? Okay, there is my 12 inches, which you guys, can you see it? Okay. Where am I going here? There's 1 3/4. No, that's 1.5. So I definitely need the 1.5 here. Running down the page, I wonder if my 9 inches wasn't quite even. And of course, I can't pick up my ruler because of this surface, so hang on. Oof. Let's go from the bottom of the page here. So there's 1.5 from the bottom on my ruler. I'm going to go ahead, get my paper again here. I like the waves kind of running, what is this, vertically through the page? Let's see, it seems like vertically sounds right. Not that I'm not flustered or anything here. There's 1.5 from each edge. That looks so much better. Okay. Now, do we have the 1.5 inch at the top? Also, I'm just going to spot check it before I push it down here. let's see, 1.5 is here. Yep, okay. Better job of centering the second time here, and I'm just going to leave my ruler up top because it's hard to maneuver on the surface. Actually, here, let's see if my multi-purpose tool can help me. There we go. Good grief. Okay. All right. We have our base paper set up with our 9-inch square put on it. I know that the photo or our sketch has a circle on it, and actually, honestly, I thought about doing a torn circle. I actually did pack my custom cutting system circles and my circle punch, but I really started to put this together and I really liked the way the square looked. And you know what? It's a sketch. You can interpret it the way you want to interpret it. And maybe I am going to inspire you all to do something a little bit different than just an average circle here. So what do I want to do next? My mats or some of my, I'm going to do this part next. So I have one of our layered border embellishments. I have the one with the airplanes on it. The reason they're layered is that they essentially have a foam square already up in between where the airplanes are. You can see that. So they have that extra dimension to them. I am going to go ahead and put some repositionable tape on this. Actually, I might, well, yeah, we'll just go with the repositionable because it'll hold it. And we're going to put this going across the top of our page. I need to move it down just a little. I will put this entire page in the camera view for you all when I have it completed. But I also need to see a little bit here what I'm doing. All right, so that one is going across the top here. And then I also have one of our border stickers. And I took it and I went ahead and I cut it apart. So where we have this globe kind of in the middle, and then we have the planes at the center here. And then I just left, you know, the globe and plane at the end there. But I thought this would actually help to create some of that rounded movement that they have in the sketch without actually using a circle. So now, dare I try this again? I'm going to, but this time at least I have the popped up border there, our layered border, to help me keep my ruler up a little bit so it doesn't get completely stuck. So I kind of want to go through the center of this middle globe here up at the top of my page and move that over. I'm going to see if I can see what I'm doing because my light is coming in from behind me instead of in front of me. Just working with what I can work with here. I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch at the top here. And then we're going to layer in these other two just coming in at an angle from the sides. And we'll just create a little bit of, we're going to layer it over the globe just a little bit and then bring it going down through our page here. And you can see how that's going to create a little bit of an arc. Like I said, to create that movement going through the page. Now, do I actually have my reasonably even? I think so. We're just going to go for it, you know. Okay, these two mats are ones that I had left over from a project I previously done with this collection. It's the matte paper. These are, what are these? 4 inches by 5.5 inches. This is why I write these things down so I don't necessarily have to remember it. And then this last one, as I mentioned, is 6 inches by 2 3/4. And I'm perfectly okay that this one is so narrow because it's going to add some actual length going through our page. And then I also have this little boarding pass that's going to kind of come in here as well. In fact, I'm going to get this down. First, I'm going to actually get tape on both of these. This one was in our embellishment pack. And it's just going to kind of bring this whole piece down and together. And then I'll talk about where I actually am going to put photos on this page, or where I would put photos on this page. When I get to that point where I go to put photos on pages, we are going to center this underneath that little globe piece that we centered at the top. I'm leaving about another 1/8 of an inch coming down. And then this one is going to run directly under it. So it's going to touch. So we wind up having about 1/4 of an inch at the bottom. Hang on, I need to scoot this over just a hair. There we go. That's why I didn't push down on it. Okay. So you can see we're kind of adding some length to our page, and not to worry, you can see over here I've got some extra embellishments we're going to run across the bottom of our page to finish adding our space to our page, but it's not going to be, I guess, as circle-y, but it's going to have the movement, if you will. So our 2 photos are going to go underneath. Actually, you know what? They're going to go over this little, well, we'll see. Let me get some tape on them first. Backside of these have the stripes along them, the blue stripes. And this one I did leave as a single page. You all know I usually do challenge myself to do more double page layouts, but this collection did not get as many votes. Actually, this is going to go underneath the embellishment. This collection got the least votes on my community tab, so I usually do single page layouts with those collections that got the least votes, and then double page layouts with the ones that have the most. And if I wind up with a tie, then everything becomes a 2-page layout pretty much. So I was actually kind of not super upset that we had a couple single page layouts this month coming, because it just made my life a little bit easier in designing it after we had to deal with the packers and the movers this week. It was a lot. It was a lot. And then having the virtual crop hit, it definitely was a lot this week. All right. So you can see, where would I put my photos? So obviously we're going to have a photo here. We're going to have a photo here. And we can tuck a photo under and behind these. Now I could have put foam tape under these and popped these actual mats up. So if you know you have a specific theme that you want to use a similar layout for, and you know you're going to have more of a full-size photo to go in here, I probably will trim a photo and make it a little bit more narrow to fit in here, but I would still run it. Let me fold this in just a little bit, and I do not know what's going on with the lights in this room that keep flickering. So this is going to go and just slide in here. So you're going to see a little bit of course, it's not going to be like this, but it's going to be similar to this. You're going to see a little bit of our prints from the tiles at the bottom, and this would be over this end here. It's just that I am having issues with having this being so bulky from the foam squares. So there, that basically would be where your picture would go. Okay, so that's now said and done. Let's go ahead and get the rest of our page put together. I found some of my postage stamp border punch pieces also that were scraps from other layouts that I've done. And I'm going to go ahead and use these pieces. This is our platinum shimmer paper. And these are going to go in the corners of my page with about 1/8 of an inch in each corner here. And there's that. And then we have some of these other mini embellishments that I'm going to be adding. And if you purchase the postage stamp border punch right now, it comes with these mini embellishments that have these things like the stacked up luggage. And we also have some matte points. This navy piece also was part of our pieces that came out of our postage stamp punch for our other layout. So I want to put this one layered onto the navy, our matte point here. And we'll go ahead and get a nice border around that one with that. That is not lined up. Okay, you can tell my lighting is definitely not as good here. Let's see if I got it lined up now. I think I have it reasonably well lined up. Yep, much better. Here we go. And then the luggage I was going to put first, just so let me get some repositionable tape on that one as well. And then this one is going to come up a little, and this one is going to go down a little, and then I have one more to center in the following this line down our page here. So this one's going to go up a little. I have this taking off sticker that's going to go this way, so I do need to actually move that down, move this down. And boy, it's a big multi-purpose tool kind of day here. This one. And then I pulled out this little airplane from our embellishment pack, the regular embellishment pack, not the mini one. Remember, the mini one comes with the punch, and the other one is something that you can purchase. So we're going to stagger these a little bit, with some up a little bit higher and some down a little bit lower, going through this bottom part of the page just to create that extra movement. And also, I mean, it doesn't really, I guess, create the circle shape so much as from the sketch, but we're kind of following our arc that we created in the top. Okay, I have one more matte point and one more navy stamp. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that airplane in just a moment. Let me get this lined up first. This time the luggage is going to layer and the matte point is going to be out on its own. So getting that lined up now that I know where I need to hold it so I can actually see what I'm doing here. Put this one up here. I'm just going to place it lightly so that way I can get my spacing before I stick everything down. And this one's going to go down here. So you can see we have our silvers going through. We have our navy pieces here, and then we have the other two mini embellishments. And then my airplane is going to come in through the middle here, which also reinforces our navy that we have in our mats here. We'll go ahead and get our taking off and our just landed placed on the page as well. And these are from our sticker pack. All right, there we go. The first sketch is done. I want to thank you all for sticking with me and joining me for the first sketch on the virtual crop. Y'all were kind of quiet, but that's okay. We'll get there. Next time, say hi if you're joining me live, and leave me a thumbs up if you like my interpretation of our sketch today. Until next time.